Hello, everybody. Give people a couple minutes to get in here. All right. So we're going to get started here in a minute. I'm going to give people just a couple more seconds to join in. Okay, let's jump right in. I'm Abby. I'm from the Gugu Guru team. And we have teamed up with Playtex Baby to share some tips on building the ultimate registry. We're going to go through a lot of things today. And we're here to answer any questions that you might have. So we're going to start by discussing three major considerations we take when we go at creating a registry with somebody. We at Gugu Guru are all about personalizing the experience and figuring out really the best things for you. So we're going to talk through kind of what that process might look like. We're also going to talk through some of our must-haves. I want to give Playtex Baby a huge shout out and thank them for teaming up with this and partnering with us for this live event. We have some great prizes also that we will talk through. The prizes are available to US and Canadian residents. There is a big grand prize, which is a number of Playtex Baby products, also a Gugu Guru registry consult. And so for those of you who are interested in winning some of those prizes, feel free to send in questions. We are going to end this whole live with a Q&A. So we're here to answer any questions that you might have on kind of registry basics, registry must-haves, how you can really create your best registry. But also one thing I want to say is that we have both the Gugu Guru and the Playtex Baby team standing by. So if you have questions while I'm talking, throughout everything, feel free to send them in through the comments and somebody will answer them, either me on this video or one of our team members will jump in and answer any questions you might have. So like I said, we have some great prizes that we're offering. I do want to tell everybody, in order to be eligible, you do have to be following both Gugu Guru and Playtex Baby on Instagram. So make sure to be following both of those accounts in order to be eligible. And at the end, when our prize winners are selected, we will message anybody through DM on Instagram. So be sure to keep your eye on that over the next 24 hours. I know I said this before, but in case you weren't in here, available to US and Canadian residents. So let's jump right into some of these things to consider when you're looking to create your baby registry, right? You find out you're pregnant and you are super overwhelmed at all the things that you have to prepare and do, and we hear it from parents all the time, right? You feel like you have an ongoing to-do list, especially right now with COVID and people not feeling super comfortable being out in the stores, especially pregnant moms or expectant families. We are getting a lot of questions on how do I go about this process from behind my computer, because I don't even know where to start. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to begin. I feel like the things spinning around my head are cribs and bottles and diaper pails and pacifiers, and the list is endless. So really and truly, let's talk through kind of three things that you should consider when you're entering this whole world of baby registry. So our goal at Gugu Guru is always to personalize the process. Make sure that you are looking at products and finding out about products that make sense for you. It's not just about throwing, hundreds of strollers at you, because if you wanted 100 of strollers thrown at you, you would just Google what's the best stroller. But really, we want to take into account things that make the most sense for you. And so how do we do that? The first thing that you really want to think about is your lifestyle. So it's easy to say that, and it's really hard to do that. when I say think about your lifestyle, there's a few key questions that I always ask people. So the first being, when you look at your life in general, are you more of a minimalist? Do you want fewer products, high quality products, things that you're really, really going to use? Or are you a bring it on personality? Do you want anything under the sun that's going to make your life easier, especially with baby? I would say the majority of people fall somewhere in the middle, right? You're looking for high quality products, things that are going to last, things that are going to hold up over time, things that are going to not be this one and done situation. But you also want things that are going to make your life easier. When a new family member comes in, a new baby comes into the family, you're kind of wrapping your head around, especially those first few months, what that looks like, what that feels like. And so we want to talk through some of those products that are going to make your life easier. And Playtex Baby has created a lot of the products that will make your life significantly easier. You want to think about your work situation. Are you planning on working in the home, working out of the home? I know this year it looks totally different than general, but at some point we have to hope that life is going to return to some sense of normalcy. And so does that mean that you're on the go with baby, dropping baby off at daycare or at a caretaker's? Are you going to have a nanny? Are you staying at home with your baby? Are you working from home with your baby? Stay-at-home moms, work-from-home moms may need two totally different things. Also, travel situation. Again, right now, totally different, up in the air. People aren't traveling the way that you maybe generally would, but people who are finding out they're pregnant now are 7, 8, 9 months away from having babies. So what are things that are going to make your life really easy and convenient for on the go when that baby does arrive? And then you want to keep in the back of your head budget, right? So you're putting a lot of this stuff on a registry, but some of the items you're going to purchase for yourself. And so I think one thing that Playtex Baby does that is just excellent is has some really good price points for products that will meet the needs of all families. And so you don't have to break the bank on every single baby product. You really can find your must-haves in a way that makes sense for your lifestyle and your family's needs. So lifestyle is one big part of putting together a registry. The second thing is thinking through products that are really going to be helpful. So what's going to be most helpful for you and what's going to be most helpful for your life. One thing I always bring up with families when I'm working with them is let's talk about your home and your home setup and where you anticipate wanting all of baby gear to stay. Do you have a multi-level home? Do you live in an apartment? Do you live in a really vertical house or sometimes vertical townhouse where you have kind of a family room on the floor you walk in on, and then you have kind of living space on the second floor, bedrooms on the third floor, maybe even an upstairs? All of these types of situations will require different products for your different needs. Space-saving items for apartments. Things that are going to, if you're having multiples and you're going to need to be carrying around double the amounts of bottles or double the extra clothes, thinking of through a diaper bag, things like that. So thinking through your lifestyle, thinking through products that are going to be helpful for you, and lastly, really thinking through your family specifics. One thing that people don't often think about is if they have pets and how that might impact the products you will need. Pets kind of change the game on certain things. There might be products that you didn't know existed, but that would be great for life with pets. Do you want other children? Do you want products that are going to grow through multiple children? So things like that are really things you want to keep into consideration when you're creating your baby registry. So great, we've thought through those three kind of little things to think about, and now we're going to jump into some must-haves. So this is where some of these Playtex Baby items come into play and just kill it. So first of all, you're setting up your nursery and you're, taking into consideration your changing table and your crib or using the top of a dresser as a changing station. But a changing station is so vital for at least somewhere in the home. And one thing that Playtex Baby has is the Diaper Genie. I'm going to lift it up so you can actually see it. And so the Diaper Genie has been around nearing on 10 years, but the The coolest thing about the Diaper Genie, besides obviously the fact that it contains odors, keeps them out of the room, it's totally hands-free, so it has a foot pedal down here, which it's not flat on the ground right now, but you can see it lifts things up. It also has these double airtight clamps inside and has these really cool bag inserts that help, first of all, make sure you're not wasting all these bags because you're throwing just like 5 diapers in them. You can fill this thing to the brim, full of diapers, and people don't know this, but you're changing that baby 10 to 12 times a day at the beginning, and so you really want something that's going to hold a lot of diapers. You'll see a lot of diaper pails stuffed to the brim, and the Diaper Genie just does an excellent job not only being stuffed to the brim, but keeping the smells contained, keeping the odors out of the room, keeping things hands-free. The refills make sure that everything is simple and easy. I also love the design of it. It's super sleek. It's not something that's gonna like scream, hey, a baby lives here, but instead it's gonna be sleek, simple, go with anything. Also, like total side note, if you live in a multi-level home, you may even want 2, 1 for each level, so that you don't have to be running up to the nursery to throw things away every single time you're changing baby's diaper. So yes, definitely, we see this on a lot of registries. There's a reason why it's a must-have. The second thing I want to talk through a little bit is feeding and feeding must-haves. So at Gugu Guru, our biggest thing is obviously fed is best. We want these babies to be fed. We want these babies to be nourished. We really want products though that are going to make that relatively simple for mom, for dad, for parents, for caregivers. The Playtex Nurser line of bottles are amazing for 1, on the go, but 2, they've come out with some new products over the years. So these are not like the old school bottles of yesterday. These are really cool, really unique, really different. One thing I love about them, so for like normal on the go, they do come with drop-ins liners, which are really simple. You put them right in the bottle. You put them right in the bottle, fill them up, you're good to go. They keep your bottles clean. They don't need to be washed because you can toss them right in the garbage. And so if you're feeding baby on the go, you toss it right in the garbage and you're not gonna deal with any sort of like leaking or mess in the diaper bag, which is great. The other thing they have now are these silicone pod inserts, which are so cool. I actually have a bottle here that has it in there. These are meant for breast milk. You can put formula in them, but they're really great for breast milk because you can actually hook them up with an adapter to your pump. You can pump right in them, you can freeze in them, you can warm up the breast milk, pop them right in on the go, you're good. So the whole feeding situation, I know to new parents is so overwhelming. So many questions I get all the time about how often do I have to feed my baby? When do I have to feed my baby? How do I clean my bottles? How many bottles do I need? All of that. But this whole system makes it really easy for on the go. You don't have to worry about leaking all sorts of like a bottle that's been used, you throw in your diaper bag and then you accidentally forget about it for a few days. It's happened. It happens to parents all the time. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to worry about that because with this, you clean the insert and you're good to go. Moving on from feeding, I think one thing I do want to talk through too is sleep and safe sleep. And we always talk about the ABCs of safe sleep at Gugu Guru. The A being always alone. The B being on their back. And the C stands for crib, but really it just stands for a safe sleep environment. And so what does that look like? A safe sleep environment is a firm, flat surface. You don't want, as cute as they are, the baby blankets and the stuffed animals and the bumpers. You want to keep things really safe. And I know it looks kind of sterile and empty, but that's how you're going to keep your little ones safe. And now on the market too, there are all of these different monitors to help you keep an eye on baby when you're downstairs, baby sleeping upstairs, or you're in your room and the baby sleeping in their room. And the really cool, and I am seeing your questions. I promise I'm going to get to as many of them as I can once we start the Q&A. The monitors now out there are really cool. They help monitor not only with sound or with video, but they even are monitoring movement and helping keep track of movement for baby, making sure that you have the peace of mind that your baby is safe in their nursery. Angel Care has a great monitor that actually has something you can put under the mattress, a flat thing to go under the mattress that helps monitor movement, while also still giving you that normal video monitor that you're looking for. But just things to kind of ease your mind. As a first-time parent, you're going to do silly things. You're going to go in and you're going to make sure that the baby's still breathing, and you're going to watch their little tummy go up and down and up and down. We all do it. It sounds crazy, but everybody does it. And so just having that peace of mind, I think, is really nice, especially for first-time parents. The other couple things that I think are really good must-haves, obviously you're going to want things for baby to wear, pajamas, things with zippers, magnetic clasps. I tend to recommend staying away from snaps for the early days because it's really hard to get a teeny tiny baby dressed with all those snaps. Swaddles, hats, things to keep baby warm and cozy. And then on-the-go items too, of course. Your strollers, your car seats, your carriers. That's really going to depend on your daily life. And also you want to take into consideration kind of what you think daily life will look like with baby. It may change, but generally speaking, whatever your gut is telling you is kind of what you're going to really want to do once baby arrives. If you have other must-haves, I definitely want you to send them in the comments, and share them with each other too. I am going to open up the floor, and I'm going to swipe up a little bit to search some of the questions that you may have about either must-haves or products or some of the Playtex items that are really great. But just want to remind you, we do have prizes coming after the live ends. And so if you want to be entered in the prizes, US and Canadian residents, and also we are going to pick from people who are asking questions. So just a little tip. So if you have any questions, let me scroll up a little bit. I'm seeing some questions about bottles and washing bottles and whatnot. I think the bottles themselves, so one of the reasons why I like the Playtex nurseries, as a mom myself, like being on the go with baby, something that you can either toss in the garbage or just wash the insert is always really beneficial. I love things that are dishwasher safe. You may hear from your moms, grandmas, dads, grandpas, whomever, that you have to hand wash bottles. That's not the case. The bottles can go in the dishwasher. The inserts, the disposable inserts, are just that. They're disposable, so you can toss them right in the garbage after you use them. Hopefully, I mean, I'm where it's snowing today, but hopefully when the weather gets warm and you're out and about and on the go, you can head to the park with something like this, be able to fill the bottle up, toss it in the garbage, and not worry about it, which is great. I'm seeing our bottle insulated carriers necessary. That's a great question. You know, it depends, again, kind of how you're feeding baby, what you're feeding baby with. So breast milk can be out a little bit longer than formula can be when it's made. If you're bringing water for formula on the go and you're bringing water and dry formula powder, no, you don't need a cooler. You may want to have a cooler if you're planning to breastfeed though. What else? Do you think it would be good to have a crib and a bassinet? Good question. So like I said earlier, first-time parents do crazy things. You're going to watch baby's tummy go up and down to make sure they're breathing. I think the American Academy of Pediatrics right now is recommending that babies sleep in parents' room for the first 6 to 12 months, which I know sounds like a really long time. Their goal is to prevent against SIDS, is to promote safe sleep. The bassinet situations, most of them on the market, are going to be safe until about 5 or 6 months, depending on how baby's moving, if they're rolling over, pushing up. I think as long as you have a safe sleep environment, that's what's most important. You don't need both. Having both may give you the flexibility of having baby in your room because the big full crib may not fit in your room from the get-go. Let's see. Must best products for a mom on the go and have to leave the baby for a few hours. So I think one thing I always talk through when I talk through must-haves are different for every person. So it's really, you're going to see all these lists on the internet about what are the must-haves, what are the things you have to have. It's really dependent on your needs and your lifestyle, kind of like we talked about at the beginning of this. I think it's really important to think about what's my daily life look like. And so if you're going to be leaving the baby for a little bit, you want to make sure obviously that they have nourishment. So whether that's pumped breast milk or formula, you want to make sure that they're able to have a safe place to sleep, clothes to wear. I mean, those are really the only must-haves. As they get a little bit older and they're playing and they're doing a lot of tummy time and whatnot, you'll want stuff like that too. Let's see, are sanitizers necessary if you have a dishwasher? That's a great question. So I talk through this actually with a lot of people. Sanitizers and sterilizers, in today's day and age with COVID out there, people love them. They have flown off the shelves like hotcakes. They are being purchased up like crazy because people are so nervous about sanitizing and sterilizing their bottles. In reality, a lot of the modern dishwashers now actually have a sanitized setting that you can use. Something like the disposable liners, you can just toss so you don't need to, but the silicone and then the outer part of the bottle, the nipple, the top, all of that can be put through the dishwasher with hot water or the sanitized setting, which will essentially do the same thing. Now, some sanitizers do have the UV light also, and if that gives you peace of mind, by all means. Let's see. What else? The other thing that I don't know that I mentioned about the Diaper Genie is that it comes with really cool inserts. So it comes with a ring. You can see kind of the ring here. And the ring is loaded, preloaded with the bags for the pail. So when you're using the Diaper Genie and you put the diapers in, you get to the end of these bags, you buy their refills, and that is why they hold so many more diapers than just putting like your standard garbage bag in there. So, you know, people all the time say, well, I'll just use a normal garbage bag. That's fine, but if you put a normal garbage bag, you're going to have a lot of wasted space, and in the Diaper Genie, it's not going to work quite like that because of the way that it traps and locks the odors and really keeps things contained to the pail. The other thing I love about the Diaper Genie, you can bring it out to the backyard, not when it's snowing outside like it is today here in Chicago, but you can bring it out to the backyard, hose it out, clean it out, and put it right back inside. You don't have to worry about like the smells leaching in or anything like that. It's really easy to open and take the bags out also. I saw a question earlier about how many bottles you might need in the early days. So one cool thing too about the Playtex baby bottles, you may not need as many bottles. What you may want to do is invest in a lot of the liners and the nipples to be able to reuse them throughout the day, because none of the actual breast milk or formula is touching the outer part of the bottle. There isn't this need to have so many bottles on hand. And when you think about it, at the fact that the babies are eating every 2 to 3 hours at the beginning, that's a lot of bottles if you're bottle feeding from the beginning, or if you're pumping and bottle feeding with breast milk, it's still a lot of bottles. I mean, that could be as many as 12 bottles a day. So just keep that in mind. I mean, we often recommend at Gugu Guru, go a little bit bigger on the bottles. Don't worry about getting like a ton of small bottles because that period of time is so short-lived. With the liners, you don't really have to worry about that because the liners hold the set amount that you would need. Somebody asked about the pacifiers. These are the Binky by Playtex Baby, which my kids absolutely loved when they were little. But they're really great. They come in different sizes. They're easy to clean. I just thought it was a nice little colorful pop. But thank you so much for all of the comments, all of the questions. We are here at Gugu Guru to help answer any questions, any registry questions you might have. Playtex Baby is also around. You can always DM either of us to answer or to ask any questions that you might want answered on products, registry must-haves. Again, just a reminder, check your Instagram DMs in the next day or so, and make sure that you are following both Playtex Baby and Gugu Guru on Instagram in order to be entered to win some of our really fun prizes. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to send them our way. All right. Thank you.